Hold up, Browns Nation. Before you even think about clicking away, what I'm about to tell you might just flip everything you thought you knew about Cleveland's quarterback situation on its head. We've got breaking news that's sending shockwaves through the entire organization, and trust me, this isn't your typical preseason drama. This is the kind of plot twist that could reshape the entire trajectory of our season before it even begins. Picture this. One moment you're riding high on optimism, watching your rookie quarterback dazzle in practice, looking like the future of the franchise. The next moment, that same player is being helped off the field, and suddenly your entire depth chart looks like a house of cards in a windstorm. That's exactly what happened to Shedeur Sanders during joint practices with Philadelphia, and folks, we need to talk about what this really means for the Browns. Now I know what you're thinking. Shedeur Sanders? Wait, isn't he supposed to be at Colorado with his dad? Well, hold that thought because this story gets even more interesting. We're talking about a quarterback situation that went from promising to precarious faster than you can say Cleveland curse, and the ripple effects are already being felt throughout the entire organization. Here's what went down in Philadelphia. Sanders was out there looking sharp, moving through progressions like a seasoned veteran, when suddenly something wasn't right. Trainers could see it immediately. That subtle wince, the way he favored his side, the telltale signs that every football fan has learned to recognize and dread. Within minutes, he was being escorted off the field with what we now know is an oblique strain. And just like that, the Browns' carefully orchestrated quarterback plans started crumbling. But here's where it gets really wild. This isn't happening in isolation. We're already dealing with Kenny Pickett nursing hamstring issues, Dylan Gabriel fighting through his own physical setbacks, and now Sanders joins the walking wounded. It's like the football gods looked at Cleveland's quarterback room and decided to play the cruelest joke imaginable. 3 quarterbacks, 3 different injuries, and suddenly Joe Flacco, who many thought would just be collecting dust on the bench, has become the most reliable arm in the building. Let me paint you the full picture of how dramatically things have shifted. Just days ago, we were talking about Sanders as this exciting wild card, a player who could potentially push for meaningful snaps sooner than anyone expected. His performance against the Panthers was nothing short of electric, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the kind of poise that made veteran observers do double takes. Suddenly, conversations were starting about whether this kid might actually challenge for more than just a backup role. Fast forward to today, and those conversations have been put on ice. Mary Kay Cabot, who knows Browns news better than anyone, confirmed that Sanders won't be practicing against the Eagles and is highly unlikely to see action in Saturday's game. For a player trying to establish himself in a crowded quarterback room, missing key preseason opportunities isn't just inconvenient, it's potentially devastating. Now, if you're a true Browns fan who bleeds orange and brown, you need to smash that subscribe button right now and join the Browns breakout family. We're the ones bringing you this kind of insider analysis and breaking news that other channels simply can't match. Help us build something special here because trust me, this season is going to be absolutely wild, and you don't want to miss a single moment of coverage. But let's dig deeper into what this Sanders injury really means. The Browns aren't just dealing with a minor setback, they're facing a complete recalibration of their preseason evaluation process. Think about it. You've got limited practices, limited game opportunities, and now your most intriguing developmental prospect is watching from the sidelines. Every snap becomes precious, every rep becomes crucial, and suddenly players who weren't even on the radar are getting opportunities they never expected. This is where veteran savvy becomes invaluable, and Joe Flacco is sitting pretty as the most experienced quarterback standing. Remember, this is the same Joe Flacco who led Baltimore to a Super Bowl victory, who's seen every defensive look imaginable, who knows how to manage a game when everything around him is chaos. While other quarterbacks are dealing with injuries and trying to prove themselves, Flacco can just focus on showing the consistency and leadership that made him a Super Bowl MVP. The timing of Sanders' injury couldn't be more brutal. We're in that critical window where coaching staffs are making final evaluations, where roster spots are being decided, where one great performance can change everything. Instead of building momentum off that impressive showing against Carolina, Sanders is stuck doing rehab work and hoping the medical staff can get him back before these crucial preseason games slip away. Here's what makes this situation even more complex. The Browns have been building an identity around resilience, around having the depth to overcome adversity. But when your quarterback room starts looking like a mash unit, even the deepest roster can start showing cracks. This injury isn't just about Sanders, it's about testing every aspect of Cleveland's organizational planning and adaptability. The medical team is calling it day-to-day, which in NFL speak could mean anything from a few days to a few weeks. Oblique strains are tricky injuries because they affect so many fundamental movements, throwing mechanics, footwork in the pocket, even basic mobility. You can't just tape it up and push through like other injuries. Sanders needs to be genuinely healthy before he can show what he's capable of. Meanwhile, this opens unexpected doors for other players in the system. Maybe Dorian Thompson-Robinson gets additional looks. Maybe some undrafted free agent catches lightning in a bottle. Maybe the coaching staff decides to completely reimagine their offensive approach based on who's actually healthy and available. These kinds of injury cascades often reveal hidden gems or expose weaknesses nobody saw coming. What's really fascinating is how this connects to Cleveland's bigger championship aspirations. This team wasn't built to compete for moral victories or participation trophies. They've assembled talent across the roster with one goal in mind, bringing a Lombardi trophy to Cleveland. But championship teams are defined by how they handle adversity, how they adapt when their best-laid plans get thrown out the window. The defense is already looking championship caliber with that aggressive pass rush and secondary that's been making quarterbacks uncomfortable all preseason. The offensive weapons are there, explosive playmakers who can change games when given opportunities. But if the quarterback position becomes a revolving door of injured players and uncertainty, even the most talented roster can fall short of expectations. This Sanders situation is revealing something crucial about the Browns organization, their ability to adapt under pressure. Good teams panic when injuries hit. Great teams find ways to turn adversity into opportunity. Championship teams use setbacks like this to discover strengths they didn't even know they had. Which category will Cleveland fall into? We're about to find out. The next few days are absolutely critical. Every practice report, every medical update, every coaching decision becomes magnified when you're dealing with this kind of uncertainty. Sanders' recovery timeline will influence everything from game planning to roster construction to long-term developmental strategies. One positive MRI could change everything. One setback could reshape the entire season. But here's what Browns fans need to remember. This organization has been through worse and come out stronger. They've dealt with quarterback controversies, coaching changes, ownership drama, and heartbreaking losses that would have broken weaker franchises. This Sanders injury is just another test of that Cleveland resilience, another chance to prove that this team is built differently than previous iterations. The beauty of football is that opportunities arise when you least expect them. While Sanders recovers, someone else gets their shot. While the quarterback room sorts itself out, other position groups can step up and carry more responsibility. While uncertainty swirls around one area, clarity can emerge in others. That's how championship teams are forged, through adversity, through adaptation, through players rising to meet unexpected challenges. So as we watch this story unfold over the coming days and weeks, remember what makes this Browns team special. It's not just the talent, though they have plenty of that. It's not just the coaching, though Kevin Stefanski has proven his ability to adapt. It's the organizational culture that's been built around resilience, around fighting through setbacks, around believing that this year could finally be different. The Shedeur Sanders injury is a plot twist nobody wanted, but it's also an opportunity to see what this team is really made of. Championship teams don't just survive adversity, they thrive because of it. And if Cleveland can navigate this quarterback uncertainty while maintaining their championship aspirations, they might just prove they're ready for something truly special. Keep your eyes on every update, every practice report, every coaching decision. This Brown season was always going to be a wild ride, but now we're just getting started. And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.